Hey there, it is Anna Runyon, founder and CEO of Classy Career Girl, and I am excited today because I have some special guests that are joining me. So I would love to introduce you to Shelby, and Shelby, just share a little bit about yourself, share a little bit about your career journey, what it's been like, and kind of like what's been happening because it's been a journey, right?
Yeah. So I think I've been part of class for I guess I'm on year two now, and I actually started in the Love Your Career formula because I was looking at I need a career I love, so I did a lot of work around getting clear on the things that I like, that I'm passionate about, that I have interests in. And definitely some of the work that I was doing that I still do now, but to a lesser extent. That I'm good at it, but I don't like doing it. So I got clarity through Love Your Career formula, through figuring out some of those things. And then I also realized as I was going through Love Your Career formula that I really want to be able to take my interests and my passions and turn that into a business. So I actually made the jump over to, see corporate rescue plan. And so I've been doing a lot more of the preliminary work, getting clear on like what I want my business to be. I'm getting into that phase where I'm starting to do research. And I probably should give a little bit more background on what exactly I do. So I work in customer experience and user experience. Prior to that, I've worked in marketing and advertising for a number of years. But I did get more into like technical projects because I was good at that. And that's where, being good at something but not really liking what you do comes in, because I was really good at translating between what marketers needed or wanted and what the technology teams needed to do. So translating between those two teams. And I was really good at that. And I worked on a lot of projects around marketing tech, but I really missed the creative aspect and the strategy aspect of things. So that's where Love Your Career formula came in, and getting clarity on where I really wanted my career to go over the next however many years, and ultimately where I want a business to go. So yeah, and I have two little boys, a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old that keep me busy. I've been working from home since COVID. So yeah, super busy.
I love that. I totally relate too, because I was in a job that I was good at, but I didn't really love either. And so that's where Love Your Career formula comes into play, figuring out like you're going through like figuring out what is your ideal business? Like what is that career that I should be doing? So I'm so glad you started there in our whole process. And then you realized through that, like what was that process like of like figuring out, hey, I want to be a business owner?
Yeah, so I started to get some movement with the work that I want to do at the company I'm working at right now. But it's slow. I work for a large organization, and trying to get a new role created can take a long time. The type of work that I want to do, like there's that question of value. Even though everyone knows that it's great to do it, um, helping people see like the value in working on customer experience from the lens of putting disabilities first is something that a lot of organizations, I would say, struggle with, just because it hasn't been something that has been a focus. Like, yes, you could be a customer focused organization, but people aren't really thinking about, okay, what about my customers that struggle the most, and how that can actually make the experience better if you focus on those individuals first. So I've had conversations. I am doing work in that space now at my company. But I really, in starting to do that work, I was like, I'm working at just one company. I feel like I can make a bigger impact if I work with multiple companies, multiple businesses in this area, and helping them start to get these things stood up, and providing them with the resources so that they can implement something similar at the organizations. And really, at the end of the day, I want to make sure that, any customer, doesn't matter what business they're working with, that they're able to engage with that business when, how, and in whatever manner they want, without any sort of barriers. So, yes, my client is a business, but really the end beneficiary is the customer. So.
Yeah, and that's something that like everyone has some sort of like impact that they want to make, or like purpose or why, and you can tell like you're going to be more successful because you are really passionate about that too. I remember going back and forth with you trying to figure this out, and like
Yeah.
getting all your ideas and like brainstorming and everything too. So it's exciting like how you can take your like what you're really passionate about and helping those people and turning that into your career and your business. So I love when it all works out.
Yeah.
So you said that something that was holding you back was like feeling like you're not skilled enough to be able to do this work. Like, tell me a little bit more about that. Do you have any tips for what helped you get over that, or are you still in that process?
Yeah, I feel like it goes in cycles. So like I'll have a really good day at work. Like I have tons of people coming to me and saying, okay, how do I do this? Like, if we want to make this experience more accessible, like how do I go about doing that? What's missing in this design? I get asked a lot of technical questions too. So I'm providing resources like, okay, this is how it's recommended that you code this, so a screen reader can read this. So there's days that are really good, and I feel like I'm in the zone. And then there's other days where it's like, oh my gosh, like I've really only been doing this for, I would say, 2 years. There's a bit of that imposter syndrome that starts to come in. And that's where I think, the struggle is. Like, I know that people at my company value the perspective that I'm providing, but then it's like making that leap. And that's where I'm like doing the research. I'm in that research phase right now with CRP. So that I can figure out, okay, what is the best way to position this work? Because, you talk a lot, Anna, about, what I know that a customer needs, but what they want, they're going to say something very different. So it's really understanding, okay, what do they want? And then how can I position that need for them once I know what they want. So
exactly. Yeah. You're in the middle of, so you're in phase 2 of corporate rescue plan,
yeah.
right? Okay. So you're going through it, and you went through Love Your Career Formula first. I love that. Where did you find out about Classy Career Girl?
I think I found out through it was either through a Facebook like video or something. I did one of it was either a planning or something. I did one of the workshops. And I really, really liked, I think it might've been one of the planning workshops. And I really liked that system. I am a planner, naturally. But I often find myself like just having huge lists of things that never even get anywhere. So the 90-day plan system really helped me to break out, okay, what are the really important things that I need to tackle? What are other things that I need to tackle, but it's like, it needs to be further down the list. So really prioritizing those different action items, and then making sure that I'm going back and really working on the things that I want to work on, instead of just filling my time with some of those admin tasks that it's like, you can really do it at any time. And it doesn't really, it's not really going to help you get to where you want to be. So
exactly. Yeah. And we have another quarterly planning challenge coming up too. So yeah, every 90 days, it's kind of like that habit I have, and then we all do it together as well. So I'm glad that you're like sticking to that as well, and like making sure that you're prioritizing, you're focusing on the right things. It's obviously working because
Yeah.
you're getting things done, you're moving through. When do you, because you're a busy mom, you said, with two little boys, when do you find the time to work on your career and your work on your goals?
Yeah. So for me, I usually try, I start, I would say, work an hour before my workday actually starts. So like from 8 to 9 each day, that's usually when I do like a lot of the 90-day plan stuff. So, I will make sure like I've figured out, okay, this is what I'm tackling for the day. I will listen. I'll do like one of the class videos and start working on some of those things first thing in the morning, because I found that if I don't do it first thing in the morning, like the day just kind of gets away from me.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah,
like,
I know.
yeah,
I know very well.
Yeah, or you have the kids pop in, and then that kind of distracts you from what you were doing. So I find having like an hour first thing in the morning just to kind of work through some of those things that are more on the type of work that I want to be doing, working through CRP. I found that to be really, really helpful.
Awesome. So you shared a win that you were selected to speak at an event. Tell us more about that.
Yes, so I am going to be, and the event's actually tomorrow, so I'll be speaking
This is good
at,
preparation for you.
yeah, it
You're
is.
going to be ready.
Yeah, so I'll be speaking at, it's called the Women's Leadership Forum. It's through Loyola University of Chicago. So that's where I got my MBA back in 2015. So I was really excited to be selected as one of the speakers. And when I was selected, I'm going to be talking about passion at work. So how you go about finding your passion, and then having the conversation with your manager to say, this is what I want to do. Because obviously you can have your passion, but if you don't tell anybody about it, like nothing's going to happen. So yeah, I'll be talking about, finding your passion, how to have the conversation with your manager, and then how to get people to start coming to you for your expertise or your area of interest. So yeah, and when I submitted for that speaking opportunity, and I was selected, they said, hey, will this day work for you between this time and this time? And I was like, sure. And they said, great, you're going to be the first speaker. So yeah, I'm the kickoff speaker after they do the initial introduction. So that's really exciting. So 8 a.m. Central tomorrow, I'll be on presenting. So very
That's
excited.
awesome. That like is proof that all your hard work is like happening too. Now they're asking you about your experience and your career and how you figured it out too. So, and I know you have been posting like your vision boards from Love Your Career Formula. Tell me about the vision board. Like, has that helped you? Because that was probably one of your first steps in the program.
Yeah, it has. And I still have my vision board up on my bulletin board. I probably need to update it a little bit. So that's probably something I'm going to do in the next 90-day planning session. On there are still relevant. Having, I did put that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, even though like I hadn't really thought too much about it. Family's also extremely important. I think another reason that I do want to make the shift to being an entrepreneur is being able to dictate my hours. So I can put the kids on the bus. I can get the kids off the bus. Like, if they need me at school for something, I can be there. Or, there's a little bit more flexibility to work, again, when, where, and how works best for me, and not be tied to like, quote unquote, a 9 to 5. But yeah, and the other thing is too, like I have the ability to teach on there. And I think that ties in very much with, the work that I'm doing and what I'm wanting to set up in my business. Because at the end of the day, I want to teach people like how you can implement certain strategies to create greater customer satisfaction. So, So yeah, it's something that I've got posted up, and it's front and center every day. I'm looking at it while I'm working every day. So yeah, it's always there.
Yeah, and you can really tell you have like so much clarity too. And that I feel I know because personally I know that you've gone through Love Your Career Formula. So you like have that clarity of like this is the ideal career. And now you have that confidence and clarity to speak. And then also as you're like really now transitioning into business owner, that's gonna come out really clear in your messaging and your positioning and when you're selling and when you're to that phase in the success path as well. So that's super exciting. Was there like a point where you like had to make a decision like to commit to the process?
Um, I think I would say yes, because I've definitely had some stops and starts, and I would say probably just in the past month, because I've had like periods where it's like I did stuff and then I kind of took a break, and then I did stuff and I kind of did a break, and now I'm like, you know what, I've just it's time to just really buckle down and not have it as this nebulous thing that's just far off into the distance, because if I keep doing that, like I'm never going to achieve the goals that I want to achieve. So it is making that conscious effort, like each morning, let's work on it, even if it's just sending out, like, I sent a survey out to our groups today, to see if we had any customer experience folks, and just to get their perspective. I sent out a survey on LinkedIn, in one of the customer experience groups that I'm in, to start to get some of that research, to make sure that I'm on the right track. Because I'm like, if it takes 5 seconds to do, I don't know why I'm dragging my feet, because it's something simple. And then once I get some of that initial information, then I can go deeper and have one-on-one conversations with folks. But it's just, yeah, it's taking that little action, to just kind of get me kickstarted, and just keep moving forward.
Yeah, you're building the momentum. I love it.
Yeah.
I say this stuff all the time, but it's like so different when you guys say it yourself. So
Yeah.
people are listening, and you have definitely inspired someone today too. Just take that first step. Like it could just be
Yeah.
a post that she put up in a Facebook group this morning, a question she asked in that small period of time that she blocked out in the mornings. And that just will build the momentum and get her going too. So what do you think would have happened if you didn't follow the plan or the success path?
I think I would still, well, I know I wouldn't be doing the work that I'm doing now at my company, um, because, I don't think I ever would have, I wouldn't have gotten clarity on what I was interested in. I think I would have continued to, um, do more of that technical project work, but then I think I also would have aimlessly interviewed for positions where it's like, oh yeah, I can do those things, but it's like, am I really, like, is this really what I want to do? And now, I do get contacted by recruiters a lot of times, and it's actually very empowering to say, no, that doesn't align with what I want, where I want to go. As opposed to saying, yeah, I'll take a call just to, yeah, this might be something I'm interested in. So it's really getting clear on, who I am, what I'm about, I think has been just huge. And I don't think that I would have that if I hadn't done Love Your Career Formula and then started working, in CRP. Yeah, I think I'd still be just kind of trucking along, doing okay, but not doing work that I would, that I'm excited to do. And people can definitely tell when I'm on the phone with them or on a Zoom call with them at work. They're like, wow, you're really excited about this. Is like, I can tell you're getting really energized about this. So, yeah, yeah, I definitely wouldn't be where I am now.
That's awesome. I love that. I think too, because so many people stay stuck there too, right? They don't make that change and they don't really like self-assess and really uncover like what is that ideal career for me. So
Yeah.
you are the perfect example of that. Like just taking your time, making sure you have the right, you're on track, you know what your ideal career is, and then the next steps become so much easier too. And so I'm excited to see the next steps and then the next steps now that you've transitioned from Love Your Career Formula to Corporate Rescue Plan Success Path to launch your dream business. So that's super exciting. So where can people find out more about you online right now?
So you can always check out me on LinkedIn. Believe it's Shelby D. Mitchell on LinkedIn. I also have a blog called thecxcafe.com, which talks about different types of customer experience topics. And those are really the two platforms that I'm active on when it comes to customer experience.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's a whole other topic. We could like have a whole other training
Yeah.
topic on that too. We should probably.
Yeah.
So what would be like your final words of wisdom for someone who is just kind of like in that spot that you were in, like kind of unsure of what your ideal career would be and feeling stuck? Like what would you tell them?
Definitely just carve out the time to like just map out everything that you like, that you don't like. I know, one of the exercises in Love Your Career Formula is, listing out, I think I mentioned the things that you're good at that you don't like you just get it all out there. And I think actually that exercise, I may have taken a few days to do it. I spent like a good chunk of time just getting as exhaustive as I could on each of the areas. And then, circling, okay, here's the things that I really want to dig in on. So yeah, taking that time, and then also having conversations with people in the areas that you're interested in. Because I wasn't doing this work that I'm doing now. And so I did reach out to people on LinkedIn and I said, hey, I see that you're in this area that I'm really interested in learning more about. I'd love to have 15 minutes with you just to figure out what your journey was and, where you see, like what your approach was to getting this to happen at your company. So I think that's huge too, is just having those conversations and not being afraid to reach out. And then, just continuing to refine. Because I will say too, with CRP, and you say not to do this, Anna, like I tried to put together a course before I really gone, like, I'm still very early in CRP. But I tried to put together a course, and then I was like, you know what, this just is not working. Like this doesn't seem focused. This doesn't seem like I'm not excited about the material. And I'm like, you know what, scrapping it. I'm following CRP and I'm just going to do it like, because I'm trying to do things out of order and it's just not a good idea. So yeah, do things in order.
Yep. That does happen. I've been told that happens before. There is a reason why I say start at the beginning. But I'm glad. I mean, even that happens to me too. Like we want to like jump ahead. We want things to happen fast, and we're like, we know how to do this, and so that's why we have like the steps. So it's like boom, 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 and it's just so much easier to follow too. So
yeah.
So awesome. It was so great to hear more about your journey, Shelby. Thank you so much for being here and sharing it with us today.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So we have our next guest who is here with us. I'm going to bring her in with us. And here we go. Hi, Michaela.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit more about you. You've had, just like Shelby, a ton of wins and a years of action and things happening in the Facebook group. So I can't wait to spotlight you. So tell us like a little bit more about your career journey, kind of what it's been like so far.
Yeah. It's kind of, it is a story, that is for sure.
We have time. It's okay.
Well, so kind of starting off with like my career. So I went to college for communications, and while I was in college, I'd actually found you, Anna, because I thought I wanted to do like a blog on the side as like a side hustle while I was working through my degree. But then I realized I didn't know exactly what I was going to blog about. or like who I was talking to as far as my blog went. So I kind of scratched that idea and finished my college degree. And after college, I realized I didn't know what I wanted to do. So with graduation coming up and not really having a career choice in mind, I started applying to all these jobs. But then my husband and I got married. We relocated to a new city, a new state, and bought a new house.
Wow.
And in between all of those life changes, we also went through the loss of my dad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so while working through all of that in this move, when we got to the new house, I realized, not only was it empty and didn't feel like us, I had a blank canvas to work with that I could finally fill with everything that I'd ever wanted. It was my open book. So I was able to find some pieces that really spoke to me and put in our home and start to turn the house into a home. Which is where now, fast forward a little bit here in like 2019, 2020, I had started class. I had seen the release of your new membership and was very excited for it. So I joined class and I got to phase 2 and got totally, completely, utterly stuck.
Of corporate rescue plan, right?
Yeah, corporate rescue plan.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And I'd already known that I was like, I love houses. I think I could really do something with houses. It's just what? what with houses? And so when I got to phase 2, I was like, I still don't know who I'm working with. I still don't know like what I want to do exactly with houses. And I probably should have started over with like Love Your Career Formula or something like that. But I decided to take a break instead. And I made a pivot into a real estate career, which is now my day job,
Okay.
which I do like my day job, working in real estate, because I get to help agents help their clients find their dream homes. And I was like, duh, I found it. This is it. So came real estate, and then working in real estate, I realized, okay, I can create a little Instagram blog about how to start, like, not only find your home, but also like how to find pieces to put in your house. So with that, I decided to came back to class, and I started over again, and I started an interior design degree, which I'm currently finishing up. And I started the Genuine Home, which is a home decor store and a future interior design studio.
I love it. And you said one of the things like you were kind of worried about is like, what if I fail? Like, tell us more about that, like through this whole journey and like starting now your Instagram profile. Like, do you still have those thoughts, or were there some tips you have that helped you get over that?
It's really so that is definitely still a thought that I wrestle with. But when I restarted class back in July, I think it was, actually, let me back up a little bit here. So the first time I went through class, it was really like, what if I fail on creating a business? And I realized I didn't have a really compelling enough why. I was like, oh, I want to help people love their homes. Everybody wants to love their home, right?
Right.
But after going through all of that and then coming back in July, we had found out that I was pregnant and was going to be having my son. And I was like, yes, now I definitely want to build something like a legacy for him, and to show him the power of what a house can be for a family. And so with that compelling why, really that thought of failure, I mean, mistakes happen, but mistakes are an opportunity to learn and grow. And that's what keeps me going through that.
Yeah. And you can relate very well to the people who are purchasing as well. And those whys like keep you going too. And it's like hard because it's probably not been super easy, right? Like when you're working a day job and you have this hustle on the side, that's what keeps you going. Probably for you too, right?
Yes. It's that I have a creative outlet to be able to find pieces that not only that I love, that other people can love. And with the growth of my Instagram blog, I've been able to connect with not only like potential clients for the future, but also other like-minded entrepreneurs who are like, I need that one thing. And so I'm able to help them find the pieces that they need. So that also, it all keeps me going. So yeah.
So when you started the first time you were looking to create that business and then you got more clarity, which this is all a journey, by the way. So if you guys are like stop it and pivoting, and we've all been through a journey over these last few years anyways, it's not been easy for anyone. So I love that you're sharing that. Like, it doesn't happen overnight, and a lot of your life experiences help you to make those pivots and changes and discover your why too. If you don't know it yet, just keep living, and like it'll come, or just keep following your passions and those things. Like Michaela followed homes, right? There was one thing she knew, homes. So I'm going to stay in that like general career type area. Yep. So how did you find out about Classy Career Girl? Like, was it a Google search or something?
It was a Google search back in college. Yeah. Okay. About how to start a blogging business.
Nice.
I found one of your blog posts about how to start a blog. And I had like really decent growth with it. It was just, I didn't know who I was talking to. And so with all of that growth, now I know who I'm talking to. I've found my ideal client. And that's the one thing about class too, is that after working through, like finally getting through phase 2, I have so much clarity on where my business is going in the future. So
yeah. And
along with doing your 90-day plan challenges, because those are just amazing.
Yeah. And we have one coming up too. I'm excited. I will be doing, I won't be in like, I'll be able to like focus this time with you guys. So I'm excited for that one too. I'll be doing it myself. So we talked about phase 2, and then the beginning of phase 2 is all about market research. So I'm sure that like helped you get really clear on who your ideal clients are. So that's exciting. I want to hear, because now you've moved past phase 2, and phase 2 can be like a little bit longer. And you've now moved on. I saw your certificate for phase 3 and phase 4. So tell us about like that journey going from phase 2 to phase 3 and then to phase 4.
Yeah, so phase 3 has only ramped up my momentum. So in phase 2, you learn how to like plan everything out and how to create like your offer. And I was like, okay, I've learned how to create my offer. I actually have my own Etsy store, which creates abstract art. I create abstract art and sell on Etsy. And with that, in phase 3, I learned how to launch. I've learned how to talk to people about it. That was the kind of weird part, was I wasn't sure how to talk about what I was doing, and that I create digital content as well. So I've learned how to master those through phase 3. And phase 3 was just, I don't know, it was so much fun. Honestly, I could do phase 3 multiple times. So I'm very excited to see what phase 4 holds in store for me.
Awesome. I love it. And what do you think, where do you think you'd be if you didn't have like this path to follow?
I still would be kind of all over the place. I think I would still be doing the general like shiny object syndrome. Like, here, I'm going to go over here and try this, or here, I'm going to go over here and try this. Like, so since I work on staff in real estate, I'm not actually a real estate agent. I don't really feel that that's what I'm called to do. But I tried that and it just wasn't for me. And so, like I said, I'd be doing the shiny object syndrome, going all over the place. So I'm so glad that class exists to be able to create the path that we need to follow. And like Shelby said, she tried to create a course long before she was ready to do so. I did the exact same thing. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Scratch that. There's a reason why there's a reason for the madness. So
exactly. There's a path. Follow the path. Follow the path. And I like too that you were trying new things too, because you do learn from like trying different careers and seeing but now you're so clear on like what is right and what's not right. And I think that's like the clarity both between the similarities between you and Shelby, of just like the clarity and the confidence that has come from just taking it slow and going through this journey to figure out what your ideal career was too. So tell us about some of these wins. Like, I was just looking in the Facebook group to see all of the wins that you've had since starting too. So I have some that I've seen, but you share first.
Yeah. So, like I said, I've sold my first physical product. Like I said, I create paintings, and I've sold one, and I've learned how to launch a new collection. So I just recently did that myself too. Um, I've also connected with multiple like-minded women who are also trying to grow their businesses, and that has been so helpful. And I just love the class community and being able to build my own community surrounding my brand as well. Um, I have completed 2 phases, and like you said, go slow. You don't need to go super, like, you don't need to just ram right through it all, because that's just not helpful either. So working through both of those phases, phase 2 and phase 3, was just so helpful in getting that clarity and confidence that I've developed to be able to build my brand. And I've also made quite a few affiliate sales on my blog as well. And yeah.
Yeah. First course, first digital project, certification. You created your email list. Tell us about that too, because that's like a block I feel like keeps people from moving forward.
It is, yeah. So I had no idea how to build an email list until that lesson in class. And with developing my first like freebie, which I absolutely love, it's called the Home Design Audit Guide. I think that has just been so helpful for the people that I've connected with. I don't have a very large email list, but I have a decent sized one, and I've connected with a bunch of people on there as well. So, and I'm still learning email list building for sure.
How do we get this home design audit list?
You can get that on my blog, the www.genuinehomellc.com, or you can find me on Instagram. It's also on there too, and a link in my bio.
Awesome. What was your Instagram again?
Oh, the.genuine.home.
Okay. And then tell us about these women that you guys have this accountability group, and I want to, like, this is what a lot of people always want. Tell us like how it was formed, how you found them, and then tell us like kind of what your meetings are like, or how you guys meet and help each other.
Yeah. So I absolutely will say I love my accountability partners, Stephanie Keller and Bridget Haggerty. Stephanie is actually from Germany, and Bridget is all the way in New York, and then I'm over here in Ohio. So we meet on Sundays in the middle of the day, because that's all Stephanie can do, and that's okay. And we get together, and I will tell you, having this accountability group has only propelled all 3 of us drastically forward.
Yeah, you guys are making a lot. All 3 of you have been making a lot of progress. I love it.
Yeah. Stephanie is the glue that holds us all together. She holds us accountable and puts us in the hot seat when we need it. And of course, we use the guidelines that you outlined for us, Anna, because they are just helpful in running an accountability group. So, but with these amazing women, we've all 3 managed to propel our careers drastically forward. I don't think I ever would have made the amount of progress that I've made without both of them pushing me and holding me accountable.
Yes, they are awesome. I love everyone that you guys get to meet and everything too. So Sundays. So you guys are all class members. So you met in the group and you have your sessions every week or every other week?
Every week. Yeah.
Every week.
Yeah. Which is honestly like how we've made as much progress. If we didn't meet every week, I think we all 3 would be doing like wobbling down the path. But since we meet every week, like I said, the amount of progress is just amazing from all 3 of us on how much we make. So
that's great. Yeah. When I had a mastermind group, we would meet every other week. And I know if we would have met every week, you're right. Like, what are you going to do this week? And then you check in again. You're like, did you do it?
Yes.
Yep,
that's literally us. That's literally us. Like, did you do it? No. Are you going to do it this week? Yep.
Yep.
And we also do weekly check-ins on Wednesdays. We have our own Facebook group. And honestly, we are almost like a little mastermind. We talk about like how to make our revenue goals higher, and potentially how we can better our services and our businesses with each other. Even though we're all 3 in different industries, we still are able to provide that kind of influence from our day jobs into our industries. So
I love that. Well,
in our businesses.
You guys are awesome. So what would be kind of like your final words of wisdom for someone who is struggling to figure out, they're on Google searching, trying to figure out what they should do with their life. Like, what have you learned, and what would you tell that person?
Join class. No, seriously. Join class and then take the quiz. I almost have been thinking about maybe I should try Love Your Career Formula just to help reinforce the things that I've been learning in CRP, to be able to keep that momentum and that energy flowing. But to follow the career path and follow the tasks in each section, really think about them, take it slow. Don't try and ram yourself through it. That's not helpful. And engage in the Facebook group. I've learned so much from the women in the Facebook group about their experiences with building their businesses that I just love being in that energy. So
yes, it's so fun. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Michaela, for sharing your story. I know you've inspired us all today, sharing like your journey and everything you've gone through. So thank you so much for joining us and being here today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll make sure we link your website and the audit and all that stuff in the comments below too. So if you guys are watching the recording, I think everyone's going to want your home audit. That's a good one. That's a really good one. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Michaela.
Thank you.
Awesome. So we are going to wrap up today. These were two of our class members who are sharing their journeys going from not really knowing what they should do with their career and transitioning into their ideal careers along the path, starting their businesses. And so right now we do have our class membership doors are open, and we do have some special bonuses, and it's all ending tonight. So all those bonuses will be locked away into our membership vault for our class members only tonight at 11:59 p.m. Pacific. We have a lot of things happening that we gotta help our members with. So if you would like to join us, you have until 11:59 p.m. Pacific tonight. You can go to www.classycareergirl.com/start. When you do join us, you do get access to all of the material right away. So like today, you heard from Shelby and Michaela. Both of them are kind of transitioning from Love Your Career Formula. They've also talked about Corporate Rescue Plan. Those are two of our main programs that are inside of the class membership. So you can start in either one of them. We actually give you an assessment, so that will tell you kind of where we think that you should start. It's a really short assessment. And so if you do join us, then you get the bonuses. One of the bonuses that we're going to be giving away to all of our members. So if you are a member, I see a lot of our members who are listening today. So if you're listening today, you get the bonus too. But the bonus that goes away tonight is the financially focused career transition system. And basically, that's what we have designed to help you figure out your financial plan so you can make this dream career, dream business launch happen. Because we know that's the biggest challenge, right? Like financially, I want a new career. I want to start a business, but how am I going to make that happen? So that bonus is a brand new course really designed to help you put that financial plan together to help you get from where you are now to where you want to be. So that will be available to our members and anyone else that decides to join us by 11:59 p.m. Pacific tonight. So I hope you join us. I hope we get to welcome you in. I hope I get to interview you as one of our success stories someday as well, because we know that this process works. We've been doing this with thousands of women over the last 10 years, and we have a success path and plan that truly, truly works. So would love to invite you in. If you have any questions, if you're having any issues with checking out or the payment or technical issues with getting started in your onboarding once you join us, you can always email support@classycareergirl.com, and our team will get you all set up and supported so that you can have a really great start and make the most of your benefits once you join us, and you can have access to it all by tomorrow. So I hope that you guys are inspired by these stories. This was so fun to not have it be me talking, but to actually hear from our members. So I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye, everyone.